there's a problem with Upward that we need to talk about. Yes, the last point sucks, but this isn't about that. I can prove to you that Upward is objectively bad. In an ideal world, we want whichever team is better to consistently win. We can all agree it wouldn't be fun if the game was unfair. This means that the maps we play on should make fights more unique and thrilling, but it shouldn't decide on its own which team wins. So logically, if both teams were perfectly equal in skill, whoever wins should basically be down to a coin flip. So let's put that to the test. I loaded Upward with 22 bots and set them to expert difficulty. For whatever reason, TF2 didn't allow me to load 24 bots, so 22 was the best I could do. I started off by making both teams purely soldier. There wasn't any particular reason for this. I just guessed soldier would work for the experiment. As expected, blue team would blast through the first point, but then they would get stuck at this tunnel area for 10 minutes. I wanted to make sure this was a consistent result, so I watched blue team try and push this tunnel 5 more times, and sure enough, they failed every time. Now it was starting to get interesting. I noticed the red bots would crowd around the entrance and essentially nuked everyone who stepped through that doorway. So could this red chokehold just be an issue with the rocket launcher? I switched all the bots to heavy, and curiously, they lost at this point as well. This still seems like a problem with the class though. The doors aren't getting nuked anymore, but despite their best efforts to push as a wave, they were still too fat and were losing simply due to being outnumbered. It became obvious that we needed them to play the perfect class to make this experiment work, so I switched all the bots to Scout. At first, it seemed like I was wrong all along. The blue scouts ripped apart Red's anus, blasting through the first point and into the tunnel. With the momentum of that win, they even managed to push the cart all the way to the end of the tunnel and very close to the next point. Could it be that we all just needed to become aimbot scouts? No, because that's as far as they got, and my hatred of this tunnel grows stronger. The good news is that if your team of aimbot scouts have a 1-player advantage over red team, you can make it past the tunnel. Sometimes, blue team would manage to kill red scouts in such a way that allowed them to get the second point. But this means you would need a 2-player advantage to get a consistent win. If your team is not full of aimbot scouts, all bots on soldier only produce the consistent second point cap when they have a 4-player advantage. Doesn't it seem pretty ridiculous how much effort it takes to overcome this fucking tunnel? Okay, so I'm not actually serious about trying to use this awful experiment as a means of objectively judging maps, but it made you think, didn't it? The tunnel in actual gameplay isn't as catastrophic as how these bots played it out, but I don't know if we can deny that there's some truth to it. If there's anything to learn from this video, please push the fucking cliff and stop suiciding into the tunnel.